Greetings, dear lighted ones. This is Joanna from Universal Love and Light Wisdom Offerings. Thank you so much for tuning in. And this is our New Year's message. So thank you for joining us and Happy New Year's. We wanted to bring forward any information and messages from the Heavenly Councils, the teams that we often channel and pull from in our offerings, in our writings, in our illustrations that we're so very blessed to work with and entangle with throughout the years. And this is a very important, as you've obviously felt and heard from so many people that work within energy and with the ascension and enlightenment awakening that's washing all over the planet. Things are absolutely shifting and opening through heart-centered living, which we've been working within eons and eons of lifetimes, and we're crisscrossing timelines, feeling ourselves awaken within the shamanic gifts and the earth energy gifts, galactic gifts, and all the gifts that we are and we have within us, to bring forward and anchor within the new crystalline grids. Grids are being updated and offered information, wisdoms, codes in every moment. I know that when I'm wake up certain days, I feel more exhausted than I did when I went to sleep, because I know that we're doing a lot of work in our dream time, in our sleep time with the grids, inner and outer earth, working with many different councils and groups to bring forward what's needed as far as access for universal wisdom and galactic wisdom for the evolving human family. And we have a mastery class that we use light language and sounds and tones. And what I've come to understand through those classes, in simply offering that class and not knowing how essentially it would unfold or be structured, but simply offering it and allowing the information to come through. What that does is it awakens me to not only remembrances of other timelines, but how important it is that the information be dispersed through the new multidimensional skills and gifts that we each carry and we each come with, that we each will be activated with within our DNA, within our dreams, within our conscious reflection work, our self-care. All of those is an integrative process of becoming, who we are as multidimensional universal beings of holy light, and activating the light body through our own self-discovery. Really, that's what the Christic energy means for me. And we often talk about the 3 E's in our offerings. It is the exploration, the expression, and the experience of who we are as spirit in every new moment, and releasing it from the dogma and the structures and the confines that we've built around spirit, and how we call it and how we define it and how we place it within limitations that doesn't serve us. And so now humanity is at a peak in which we can allow the learnings and the traversing of all that we've created and really be magnified in new ways. So to take everything that we've created, whether it be through science, through medicine, learnings, teachings, and really have it mean something new and different. And that's what my teams have always allowed me to understand, is being in appreciation and gratitude of everything that we've come from, we've built, we've co-created, and allow those to be the beautiful lessons of majesty that we are as creators. And not to damn it in any way, but to walk forward with it in great gratitude and appreciation for who we are as a collective, for who we are as magnificent creators. And in doing so, we allow that in and of itself to be the portal of new information and new ways of co-creating, which it should be, because that's what evolution is, taking all that we've known, all that we've done, all that we've co-created, and spinning it in a new way that serves us in a more expanded way. And through the classes that we've offered, and through many of the private sessions that I've offered, what I've been learning more and more is that we will, as conduits, as channels, as awakening human beings, even those that are newly awakened, will be coming forward with such information that is multidimensional. And I've been sensing it in the last couple of weeks, more specifically, beyond what and I've always been pretty far out there in what I've shared, my multidimensional experiences. But in the last couple of weeks, it's been even more beyond what I can understand and explain. But these experiences, multidimensional osmosis is what I can explain it. That's the word that we have that I can best explain the traversing of energy and shifting of dynamic that we will be experiencing. And some of us come forward to experience these things and move through what we move through, so that we can offer our experiences to the collective, because they'll be coming through the portals and the gates, if you will. And so some of us walk through it first, so that we can kind of grasp what's going on, put it in a human context and lineage of words that we've carried. My passion is to bring higher vibrational understanding in words and how we move through these really exciting times, allowing ourselves to truly liberate what and who we think we are, and really allow it to be an open vessel. And that's what I've experienced, is really allowing the open vessel of who we are, releasing, and not even really releasing, but releasing comes in the intention, if you're willing to let things go and transform and transmute your reality experience. But what it feels more to me now is this open vestal, this vestibule of temple that we are, and allowing that open vestibule to simply be open, and not have it controlled in any way, and managed in the way of self-care. And that's simply it. Manage your temple with self-care and love, and then allow the open vestibule that we are, the temple that we are, that open cup, that sacred cup of the sacred cup of light that we are, and the sacred cup of love, to be open and ever full, flowing over, to be the expression of who we are in life. And that's really how it's felt over the last couple of weeks, and moving through these osmosis type of frequencies and energies and experiences that allow you to truly experience yourself as multidimensional, the all. And always for the purpose to shift the dynamic of this now moment. So if there's things that you're having a challenge of letting go or healing, or requiring an awakening to something that you're here to offer and bring forth and anchor and channel, then those will be within those moments of osmosis, And what I've been noticing recently is that I haven't been in meditation when these have occurred. I've been simply sitting at my table to do some writing or a reflective post, or just sending off an email to someone. And I would take that soft pause and that open vessel energy, and those experiences would come in, and I would begin to move into that experience and use it in this now moment, channeling and chanting and working with the grids and the consciousness templates, and it just comes out of nowhere. And that's the now moment, and not understanding. We don't necessarily have to know the grander plan, but that experience is coming to you, so that you can use that energy, that consciousness wisdom, that coding, that tone, that sound, to anchor within the grids here, that others will need and require in their own awakening, in their own building and constructing of the new reality that they choose to co-create. And this is unity consciousness in its inception, in its birthing. And unity consciousness is when our hearts are sown through the vibration of the Christ. The Christ consciousness is the multidimensional vastness of all that we are as spirit. And when that's sown through our one human heart, then what someone may need in Japan or Syria or Korea, those frequencies of sound and tone are then channeled through an expression of love and joy and happiness. If you're out in nature and you feel that urge to sound and tone and channel, those go into the grids, and those informations are picked up on when that person is in a nature walk or meditating, or exactly when they need it and how they need it. So, and this is what's come about in the private sessions and the classes, is moving through these group engagements, these heart-centered communions, in which the vibration of the group is such that these informations and wisdoms come up through not only Gaia saying, this is what I need now, and we begin to channel and tone and chant, or it's been given from the celestial teams and guides. But they're all synchronistic in the moment of allowing yourselves to be fully in the open space of being the vessel of God, being the vessel of source, creator, of spirit, of all that is, however we choose to define the creator of all life, moving through us and living through us, and being that open vessel, not having us limit it, section it off, partition it off, but to live as that open vessel. And it takes, it takes mastery, it takes practice, because we've come with such subjugation and imprinting through our multidimensional bodies, the physical, the mental, the emotional, the etheric, each come with their own version of imprint for us to transcend. The psyche, the physical body, comes with its cellular imprints. The DNA can be activated and even enhanced through our own work with spirit and our teams and our guides to what it is that we're excited to explore. And the mental body connected with all of the other bodies, and how the mental body is and emotional body are really being healed in these profound waves of liberation, and why that healing is required. And so one of the things we wanted to talk about today in this New Year's message is, with all of these beautiful osmosis frequencies of feeling new, feeling vibrant, feeling this new vessel that you are a source, the vibrancy that you are a source, and really taking those really heartfelt moments to reflect, on, and I've often told my kids, because there's many understandings about looking at the past and so on. And for me, I've had so many different experiences, and many of them very painful. But what I've come to in the last, really the last month, that my teams have been really bringing to the forefront very colorfully is your mastery and your ability to be the leader that we are through energy and love, and really do it in a way that will serve the greater good like no other timeline that we've ever experienced. We've had similar lifetimes, Lemuria and Atlantis, but at some point those civilizations faltered, along with many others, but the particular ones those that are in energy understand and have heard the stories and have heard the energies and felt the energies in the lifetimes. And those are the most prominent, but there will be many more uncovered and unveiled that we've never even heard of. But the Lemurian and Atlantean timelines, there was the faltering when the initiations and the initial outset were very benevolent, and then they began to falter through time, again through the imbalance that were experienced. And we've all gone through those experiences of imbalance. That's why we're here as a human collective, is to rebalance and really maintain, which has been so crucial and key, will be for the next, however long we're creating new timelines and creating new earths for all of us to experience, will be that center balance is so key, so that we maintain the highest and the greatest good for the all. And that is the unity consciousness. As we're threaded through our hearts, how may we continue to grow and evolve with the greater good, benevolent foundation of love. And that will be our key foundational, always recentering back to the greater good. How may we serve the greater good? How may we serve the greater good through love, compassion, forgiveness, and acceptance? And those are the 4 key points that I've talked about so often in my own healing, in understanding the shadow work, understanding the negative ego, we've called it negative ego, and how it relates to the multidimensional beings that we are, and how we heal all timelines, we heal all that we are as universal beings. But to always recenter back to the benevolence, the divine benevolence that we are all each here to play a part of, and be that puzzle piece to rework, to evolve, to stretch, to reach, to create this new beautiful conception of energy and love and light that serves the greater good, always, 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 always. And it will be that learning experience for each of us as masters and as leaders and as communities of light, and however we get shaped and shift, within these new beautiful energies. Soul tribes will be brought together, and it will be very interesting and very beautiful to see how the vibratory frequencies of that community and tribe grow and evolve for the evolution, for the greater good. Allowing spirit to be our guide, allowing Gaia to be our guide, in nature and one another, the benevolence and the betterment for the greater good, and always maintain that balance, that equal balance of equality and fairness and goodness will be the mainstay of transcending every ail that we've created, every disparage. That's the word I'm getting. I don't even know what that word means. I always know when I'm connecting with my guides when I don't know what these words mean. But everything that we've created for ourselves, whether it's the pillaging of land and peoples, the greater good is always, 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 always not to the gain of one political party, not to the gain of one political group or peoples. It will be the greater good of the all. And these will be brought forward first within these light communities, from what I'm sensing and feeling. And they will be dispersed out to the farther communities. Because it's essentially creating life within spirit first. And it has never been that way. It's been a very big separation within the human collective heart, our separation from spirit as spirit, because it's been so defined in religion. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's how we've managed to get through our understanding of third dimensional, fourth dimensional realities. But as we move forward, there will always be those religions, and that will always be a part of the human understanding, the human stories, because they're very beautiful. But there will be the acceptance of the all. There will be the greater good of the all. There will be the no separation and naming and there won't be that energy of us and them, or you and us, and it will be the greater good. And that will be the greatest of humanity's lessons, will be to maintain that balance through the understanding of our emotional, mental, etheric, and physical bodies as a multidimensional universal essence, with greater profound gifts through the DNA, with greater profound gifts through our consciousness and light body fields, our subtle fields, all that we are as a multidimensional body, and understanding it and really honoring it and working with it as the spirit of temple that we are, which we've never done before. These will all be wonderful new beginnings and teachings. But what I've been understanding and awakening to is becoming that open vessel, and how my teams have been really coloring for me very vibrantly, is that when we look back, especially on poignant times as the end of the year, a new decade, and the profound energies that we've all felt, those in the awakening and enlightening and those newly awakened, absolutely feeling that the ground is shifting beneath our feet, is to, and I've often talked about this in my my ascension offerings, and I've written about it in my books because it was very key, key lessons for those that have been working through releasing limitation in every way, multidimensionally, whether it be through rewriting who you believe you are, and really keep it open and loving and infinite and eternal, which is spirit. Trying to release all definitions and words that we place upon ourselves that limit us in every way. And in doing so, we rewrite and we reshape our relationships. Because as we create those intentions and ways of behaving sacredly and living sacredly within who we are as a sacred temple, that shifts the DNA, and that shifts the cells within our bodies, the physical, the mental, the emotional. Everything gets changed and shifted when you create those intentions of consciousness as the God within, the God without. And we talk about in our classes is how to reignite and work with the fields, the consciousness fields of source. And you can feel those energies lifting through the earth to be with you in entanglement. That's the unity consciousness with Gaia. The unity consciousness with the fairies, the gnomes, the pixies, the consciousness grids, the Elohim creator gods, Gaia consciousness, forest consciousness, water consciousness, all that we are as nature, because our bodies are Gaia. And when you set those intentions, and when you restate as a foundation, and you're calling judgment on what no longer serves, you're rewriting who you are, past, present, and future. You're rewriting your story to serve you. And this is the point that I'm getting to, which my team has colored so beautifully for me. Thank you, team. Is that the path that you walk, regardless of how it is seemed and pictured and viewed, and how we remember it in this now moment, you can change the perspective and have it really honor you as the being that you are, as light, as source creator, when you honor and appreciate and value everything that has occurred. And I've talked about this in many different ways, and they're the words that we have to bring it forward as an offering. But to truly feel into, before this day ends, to feel into gratitude and grace and appreciation and celebrate who you are in a way that's different than it's ever been done. And if it only is 10 minutes or an hour of quiet contemplation, meditation, communion, to really feel into the vibration of the celebration of you as source, the celebration of you as a divine loving being, to celebrate you as a unique being and a valued being of creation, as the valued child of source, that every step that you have taken, that every sentence that you have spoken, that every move and everything that you have done and created and moved within and transformed and transmuted, every moment is sacred and blessed. Every moment. Because every moment, regardless of how we talk ourselves, and that's the negative ego and the belief patterns, and what we're stepping away from, is that skin is shedding, and you're peeling back those skins and those layers of limitation, those limited beliefs that we've had, that it took me so long to move through that one lesson. Make no mistake about it, however deep that lesson was, every layer of that lesson had value and had purpose. I offer this from experience and from knowing, and I've been told in every way that Spirit can tell me and show me and allow me to understand and hear in all the ways that I'm able to sense, is that every layer and every level had a purposeful meaning. Because we forget to bring forward the soul in these experiences, and the soul is with us. It's the center of our being, and it's what we've called the gut feeling, the soul, the all of you, that source of you. It's allowing you every moment to know your value of who you are as source, as love, as infinite love, as creative love. And that gut feeling will say, that's not right for you anymore, move on. That doesn't serve you anymore, move on. Those words don't serve you anymore, how does that feel? What you're eating doesn't serve you anymore, how does that feel? That gut feeling, those never-ending energies that allow you to continually return to center, and reevaluate and reflect and celebrate and honor. All of those soul-centering energies are constantly reminding you of how beneficial and how valued and how purposeful every unfolding has been and was and will be. Because those moments are your teachers. Those moments are your lessons to say, when I said that didn't sound right, I'm going to say it differently this time. I'm going to show up differently. I'm going to allow myself to love myself first, and I'm going to create those sounds and those tones because it serves me in this way now, and I'm going to learn from that because I've just got a download that's allowed that tone to come through, and now I have a whole new lesson to bring forward, and I feel it going into the earth, and I'm going to say it in this way now because it's more expansive, and there's people out there that need to hear that word will hit with that person that's ready for that vibrational lesson or code. Because there's far more involved than we understand. And when the soul comes forward to be a part of our lives, that soul will show us that when you allowed yourself to appreciate, when you allowed yourself to value and to honor who you are as the sacred temple that you are, in every lesson that you've done, even if it's taken you 10 years to get over a very painful relationship, or 10 years to honor your body when it's addictive eating, or any eating disorder. Again, I've had experience. Self-harming, whatever it might be, that is the ping, the experience that we move through to bring ourselves back to how can I honor myself? Because everything that we do is that portrayed story and that inner child requiring us to validate what we've been missing, what we've been needing healing from, what we've been needing that that counsel, the counsel of you, your own counsel to bring counsel and therapy and self-soothing and self-honor and self-value and self-appreciation. And every time that we go through that lesson, it's again saying, are you ready to love yourself as we do? Are you ready to see yourself as we do? Are you ready to live as the sacred vessel of God that you are? And so it always has purpose and has value, because in what I've been shown and what I've seen and what I've experienced, and I say this with great passion and great life. That's the only, it's great life, is that we're shown, and it can be depending on the awareness level that you carry and how excited you are to tap into the all that you are. They will come forward in the right timing for you to heal what you need to heal and to move into a deeper, expansive understanding of who you are. But in our appreciation and our value, and really desiring to say, I'm going to kick this. I can do this. I will kick whatever it is that continues to show me that I'm ready for change. I'm ready for dynamic, positive, powerful, purposeful change. I've known I've been doing this to myself. I understand that I am the master of my reality, and I'm ready. Whatever the universe and my teams and my guides and my soul and my higher self can show me a way, open the door and I will walk through it. When you set those intentions for change, you will see that all of what you have been through not only relates to this lifetime, but heals all others. And this is why they've shown me so many times to be gentle and loving and accepting and valuing of yourself, because you might think only in this moment that it's taken me 10 years to heal this addiction. It's taken me 10 years to heal lack of self. It's taken me however many we think of in the human time. It's linked to 50, 60 other timelines. You can't put human definitions on the quantum, multidimensional, all that you are healing. We can't, and we shouldn't. What is going to be key as we move forward into these new fifth dimensional vibrations of allness and excitement of who we are as spirit is honoring the vastness that we are, reflect upon everything that we've been through. And every moment that you reflect and you have that sacred communion with who you are as a soul and spirit, say, wow, it's been an amazing year. Look what I've been through. And to look back with it in grace, to look back with it in sacred honor. And what I've offered earlier that I didn't quite finish saying is that in all of our offerings, in my experience, and you'll be privy and you'll hear and you'll connect with vibrations that you'll have your own discernment about what feels good for you and honoring for you. In my experience, personal experience, in all of the shadow work, in all of the multidimensional timeline healing that I've created and I've done, and I've moved through, it's a constant evolution. And I know that I'm healing so much and so many timelines that I can see and I can feel and I can tap into. And my teams have showed me, the universe has showed me, the Holy Mother, Father, Creator, Source, Spirit, that I've been a part of and I'm connecting with and I'm healing for Earth as well, is that when you move in honor and respect of all energy, regardless of how it's colored, regardless of how it's masked or dressed up, when you honor and respect it all, release judgment, detach yourself from that judgment, you automatically allow yourself that mastery, higher self perspective. You're taking yourself out of it emotionally and allowing yourself to release, because that's what our whole entire collective is healing, is judgment and separation. For us to heal any and all that we have created is the unity consciousness, to release judgment in every way. Release it. Because it will continue the cycles. That's what judgment does. It continues the cycles of separation. And we cannot heal something from the same cycle and the version and the vibration that we've created it within. We must rise above. And so any moment that one can do that with oneself and thyself first, release the judgment and love and honor yourself, because you have no idea how that ripples through to the all. Honoring and respecting all are valid, all are equal, all are one. All are allowing us that infinity cycle that loops through what's working, what's not working, what's working, what's not working, what's working, what's not working. And as it crosses that middle, you center, what do I want to create now? Out you go. What didn't work for me that time? Center. Out you go. It's a constant evolutionary cycle of who we are as multidimensional quantum beings. And what may have been, something that's sticking in your craw, if you will, something that's poking at you all the time, and a behavior and a pattern that's carried through lineages. And that's, what the Akash and what are multidimensional for me is really exciting, because I can often feel the wow, that awakening, that moment that I sat in pure love of who I was. You feel the trickle down vibrations, fanning the other aspects of you, of the all, because you are one with all, the trees, all that you're connected with, and it affects everyone and everything. And so to have, and if any of my books have offered anything, you'll feel the resonance of deep unconditional love, the sacredness, the elegance, and the respect and reverence for all energy, all life. That's the one thing that if I leave a legacy, have that be it. My legacy of light is the reverence and the sacredness of all life, all vibrations through which we perceive and we reflect ourselves within it. And we say, how can I love myself more from what I've just seen and reflected? And how can I be a part of great change? How can I be a part of living my life and my temple within new ways that affect the all in greater, profound ways that allow me to really feel more sacred? Opening up to that sacredness just allows you to create and experience more sacredness. And what intentions can you set forward from that reflective work, from that really sacred reflective work? Reflective work can be however you choose to move into it with, as anything, life, right? You create your reality with your perspective and intention and your viewing and perceiving of it, yourself within it, and it can be sacred. It can be a sacred practice, and create that time, for that sacred prayer and that sacred communion, your sacred oneness with source, your sacred oneness with you and your soul. Your soul is the multidimensional version of you. How can you nurture that and bring it forward? And I call my soul forward. In my meditations, I call my soul forward. What are the highest vibrational wisdoms that I need in this moment to heal this, to move forward in this, to awaken this? How may I be a part of the Gaia consciousness in a grander way that I'm affecting and I'm helping and I'm serving thyself and all others? And that's the unity consciousness, the greater good of the all. And if we can maintain those standards and those foundations of care, the foundations of honor, and why we see great change. This new year is for not only those sacred reflections, but from those reflections we see like that infinity. How can we move into a frequency with greater awareness and self-care and self-honor for one another? Because it's happening within first. My sacred communion time is important and valued. It's how I set the vibration for my temple. It's how I set the vibration for my home. It's how I set the vibration for the food. And when I drive and I move about, I'm consciously moving in a vibration of love and light, because I understand I'm a part of the all. I can't separate myself from any one problem that might seem too big or too hard to handle. I'm a part of it. And how can I be conscious and aware of this and not run from it? And this will be humanity's challenges over the next couple of years. And they're great, exciting challenges because we can approach them in new vibrational ways. And this is why many of us are coming forward to offer unique healing potentials. And we wanted to mention that too. I'm going to be offering, and it should be online the first week of January, is I've done remote healing for many years now, but to offer a remote healing session in which I work through with the heavenly teams and the councils through guided meditation, and we take you into a healing temple unique to whatever needs to be healed. And then we call in the teams for specific Akashic and timeline activations and DNA activations and healings. And then have you go away and start working with a certain set of 4 or 5 points that you can begin to work with on your own personal healing, your own personal expansive exploration and self-discovery. Because all of us coming forward, we offer what we offer so that those that are so inclined and vibratorily excited and connecting with those energies can then move upon their self-exploration. And that's how evolution occurs. And it fans out to the all. And then those can take those informations and wisdoms and then work, in new and exciting ways as well. And it's always the collective sharing of gifts, the collective sharing of wisdom. Storytelling will be coming back, more and more for us as a vibratory collective to do greater storytelling. I know in our home we're hardly turning on the TV anymore, and creating the greater time of social gathering will be a greater part. And part of my excitement in this coming year will be offering my unique expression with Gaia, how I communicate with Gaia, how I've come to realize, in my journey, that I've always had, and I think I've written about it in so much of my work, because Gaia is such an important body to me, a body of wisdom and a body of intelligence, a beautiful body of light and love, and a mother to me. And I'm such in great gratitude to be a channel and a portal for her wisdom. Oftentimes, and I will say this right now as a human honest and authentic statement, is that when I do channeling, and I just wrote a recent post in the Crystalline's children's blog spot, so go there. I've given an open channel, and I've written down when I get a download or I'm having these multidimensional osmosis experiences that I've been having recently. I can do my best to bring forward as much information that I'm moving through and I'm experiencing, but there's still so much that's being left out, because it's just a quantum experience that cannot be described or explained. And so that's no different when I'm communicating with Gaia. When I connect with her and I'm meditating with her and I call her in, she's with us right now, there's energies and there's things going on that because we are in the linear experience, and those that have followed my work and have been with us for so often, you're connecting with the multidimensional lessons and wisdoms, because you know that when we offer all that we offer, it's a crystalline vibration and it's multidimensional. So those that have been with us and following us are already feeling the multidimensional stories that we're offering through this explanation. And you're getting multidimensionally what you need. And so when we channel and when we do our light language and we do our sacred sounds and sacred toning, and even in this offering now, there's far more going on than we understand and we know, and that's okay. But have it be that portal of really great excitement that your bodies are awakening, your bodies are waking up, you're tuning in, you're turning on. And you might get that clairaudience, that clairsentience, that clairsentience, whatever it might be that your bodies will alert you to first, because you'll always have one or two gifts that are more strong than others to call all those other ones in. Your galactic and your chakras, your multi-galactic portals and your chakras that are all starting to turn on, and the hands and the fingers, there's chakras everywhere. These are portals of wisdom and information that are connecting right with the crystalline grids and with the environment and with nature. And so part of my gifts this year will be to further and more deeply explore my channeling and telepathy with Gaia, with the planet, with nature and wildlife, with animals, and then bring it forward so that we can begin to heal and bring new life forward for the vibrations that we'll all require and need from these different manifestations of energy and osmosis. Because osmosis it's the intermingling and the transference of co-creative song. And that's how I feel osmosis for me is always been that song with source, the elegance and the reverence and the acting in faith and living in faith of just being that sacred temple. And it takes practice. I've come forward in honesty and authenticity. It's a challenging path to, as an old soul, as a crystalline child, it's a challenge. It has been a challenging path, to heal, to bring forward all of the lifetimes from a 3D to a 5D and heal them all and bring them in for unity and acceptance and self-love. because we've never been taught or told or shown that we are so vast and we're so varied, and how can we have compassion for one another and ourselves in this human experience. It's going to be required and needed for when we heal the vastness of all of us, because we are the collective. You will see that as you begin to call in those soul fragments and heal. That's why we each come with the soul blueprint that we do. That's why we come with the families that we do and those contracts that we do, because they're integral parts of our acceptance and self-love, that we're here to also play that part in the community and the collective to assist others. We have to move through those experiences first. And that's, I believe, why I've moved through as much as I've moved through and come with what I've come with, because we've been working eons to be at this place of acceleration and evolution and self-acceptance of oneness. Eons, really. And we can feel it. Those that are empaths and awaken and can see the Akashic records and can feel them and experience them. We've had lifetimes of these experiences, and why we're bringing forward the information as valued and important and exciting. And those key vibrational attributes that we can bring forward as really beautiful placements and foundations for us, the greater good and serving the all, so that we don't misplace and miscreate in ways that we've done in other timelines and lifetimes. You know, we've learned the lessons. We've learned the ways that we can experience, you know, and we're here to experience greatness as a human co-creator of spirit, and serving the all, healing the illnesses and the ailments, you know, taking medicine into a quantum experience that will rewrite healing in every way. You know, and create a great respect and honor for sound, the vibration of nature. And this is something I'm really, really excited about, is to begin bringing forward wisdoms and informations about the vibrations of nature, and how that in and of itself is a healing modality. And there's so much that we are here to explore and experience and bring to life. We have these wisdoms on other planets, and we're going to be activating. And the children, make no mistake about it, they're going to be leading the way. And we can already see it. You take the kids out to the forest for a walk, and they're already connecting in ways that we don't have words for, you know. And so when we're looking back on this beautiful decade and everything that we've moved through, do so with great honor, do so with great respect, you know, do so as the great master and sage and seer and alchemist that you are. And I say that with great brotherhood and sisterhood and great oneness. You know, I understand the path. I get it. And it's not always going to be easy. You know, taking a collective reality from a 3D to a 5D, and your own soul in and of itself, and the lifetimes that you've lived, to call it in, and why those energies are being mirrored in your now experience in various subtle ways, and how we can be more awake and aware and say, I'm ready to heal this now. This is not comfortable for me to continue in this way. And why those changes will be evident for you as you move along your path, and to celebrate them, to stand strong within your power, and to say that I'm not comfortable with the roles and the subjugation that I'm sensing and feeling, and bring it forward for conversation and communication, because those around you are also a part of your healing story, and whether they accept it or move on with it, or whether they are okay with it. But part of the journey as well is to own who we are as multidimensional beings, and to share and express it in a kind and loving and compassionate way that's also compromising, you know, seeing it from everybody's angle, because our healing of our relationships in the intimate circles that we exist within heal the greater good. We have to find ways to compromise, to see it from everyone's perspective. And part of, because of the soul timelines that I've lived, very tragic and very traumatic, most of them that I can remember, my teams are saying that, you know, it's going to be much cleaner from here on out, as far as, you know, I'm going to be getting a lot more happier memories, because I've done so much healing. But you know, they're very beautiful. They're beautiful in their own right. It's all beautiful. It's all revered. I revere it all. I really do, because it's taken me to such a deep and rich level for who I am. You know, wouldn't have been able to experience it any other way. And I'm just so grateful for God. I'm just thank God for God and Spirit and my teams and Gaia and all of the light ships. I mean, all of the healing teams that are constantly with me all the time, healing and perpetuating my evolution when at times that I was so ready to give up, you know, so ready. I'm just so thankful, so grateful. And why I come forward with the grace and with such celebration for Spirit. You know, what we move through, just so much gratitude. Take a moment of pause. Such graceful celebration for humanity. And give yourself those moments of appreciation and forgiveness. You know, those moments that you've forgotten. You know, it's a part of the human ride. And be okay with that. Be gentle with yourself and allow yourself, you know, I'm just going to have a moment of gratitude and thanks. You know, just send out to the universe. Whatever is before me, I take with great step and great honor. Because I know I'm meant to take it. I know I'm powerful enough to take it. I know that there'll be lessons and there'll be gifts and blessings within it all, because it's always balanced. In that gift and lesson of hardship, there'll always be that blessing of who you are as a character and as a being of soul light. Because that soul lesson has healed all of those lifetimes of subjugation. That one subjugated pain that keeps coming back, you know, whether it's the household chore that can be shared in a different way, whether it's standing and speaking your truth for someone that is not respecting your space, whatever it might be, that heals those other lifetimes in which those words could not be spoken. And so really value and honor the vast, bigger picture of who you are and how much courage and profundity that you have to stand on the stage that you stand on. You're profound. You know, honor your profundity, your spirit, your source. You're a master, you're an angel, you're an element of nature. You're the vastness of source within a beautiful human temple that's been given a gift. And it truly is a gift. And it's hard to see sometimes and experience and feel when you're going through the throes of an Akashic release or a soul fragment integration. You're bringing in that soul to say, I love you and I'm whole because you're a part of me. And that's a part of the humanity that we're all going to be a part of healing. Those that we judge most, those that we separate most, those that we subjugate most through our thoughts, through our feelings, through our judgments, our words. And in that post that I wrote, I was talking about the symbolism of the archer. And the archer is a beautiful woman standing in the forest, and she's got such great aim and determination and perseverance. But what it was shown to me in my vision was something so different than what the archer that we would see. And this is why I love the Wildwood deck. It brings out such deep and rich Gaia wisdom for me. And I just bought it a little while ago, this one. And I'm going to pull a card from the end of our thing here. We're just about done. But the archer, what it symbolized to me, and it brought back, and as again, these multidimensional experiences, they fan, these energies that go ping, 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 because it's healing all of those pings that I didn't understand before in all those other lifetimes. So that's the only way that I can explain it. But what the archer, just look at the card. It's on our post, and I posted that card, and she's got such great aim and focus. And the focus is really going to be important for this coming year, and really focusing on all that you are as love, all that you are as spirit, keeping that, and have that be your return to center. That's your focus that maintains that path unfolding for your highest and greatest good. So focus is so important for mastery, energetic mastery. Because it's so easy when your body's awakened, and if we're not grounding and centering, if we're not focused, your energy is everywhere and you can pick up on everything. And it's not necessary. It really isn't. It took me a while to learn that. It's like, what? I don't need to feel that. I don't need to feel it. You can be specific. You can walk with your power. You don't have to get thrown in the throes of everyone else's energy and the lower astral energies. And for crystalline children, and for children that are psychic, which most of them are now, because they're here to amplify our vibration and to open us up into unconditional love, that the vibration of love that they bring, and the stories that they're going to show us and tell us, and they will lead the way into greater evolutionary cycles. And so just know that they're carrying stories of vibration that will assist everybody. They're just so amplified in their love and their care. But that archer was really pulling back. And what that meant for me, and I was getting the story right away, that any fear that we have, any doubt, self-doubt, any lack, that archer was pulling back. And the symbolisms that were given to me from my councils and my teams was that our ability to pierce through anything that we have built from any lifetime, any belief pattern, any lack of separation or subjugation, that we are in every way the all of that experience. We are the archer, we are the bow, we are the twine that gets pulled, we are the arrow, and we pierce through any negative belief that we've had about ourselves so that the light is broken open. Because there's always the sun, and what I saw was the sun coming up through the floorboards of this crack, and it was dark. And that was symbolic to me that this next step might be unknown, and there's going to be cracks in the floor. Those will be your doubts. Those will be your fears that you have had. Am I ready to take this next step? Do I have it all? Do I have all the gifts and the skills with me to take this unknown step? And my team immediately showed me as the archer piercing through into that crack, and the sun broke open. And it's only our beliefs and our fears and our lack of, our doubt all the time that we miscreate, or we stop, or we don't go. So just know that they're all illusions. We've created the reality through the illusions that we've required healing and transcending, because other lifetimes they were cut short. They were, we built those walls ourselves, and my team showed me that as I'm walking away, the realities fall away. And this is really profound for us to understand, that you're creating that step as you walk it. This is what the fifth dimensional reality is all about. We can't create it in fear or doubt. So trust yourself as love. Trust yourself as knowing and being that all that you are is source. Walk in faith that you're with source every step of the way. And that's when miracles happen. You create that step before you. You don't need the ladder. You don't need the stairs. It's there. How did you know you're powerful in that way to create that? Well, we haven't. Nobody's told us. Especially when you come from environments of great, great lack of care and nurturance and love. It's been a double journey, for us to build that foundation of self-love and self-nurturance. And it's a constant creation. Those of us that have come from those environments of many, many lifetimes and experiences of abuse and subjugation and on and on and on, the persecutions, and all the things that we've co-created on all ends. We've been all roles. And the opening of unity consciousness is your healing of those old soul fragments, because you've played every role. And why we can release the separation and the judgment. We've played them all. You're every symbol. Therefore, you have the power to pierce through what seems to be a block. There are no blocks. There are no doors. There are no hurdles. There are no cracks in the floor. It's heaven. It all is, if you so choose. And we've been given the gifts and the skills. I've called it the Christed Toolkit in my books, the Christed Toolbox. We have the skills and the gifts to unveil the heavenly floor that we walk on and we co-create through the imagination, through the pure will, and that arrow, that pulling back and that perseverance that this is it. I'm going to pierce that fear, and it's no longer going to be a part of my repertoire. It's not going to be a part of my meal today, and you pierce it. You say it's not going to be a part of my world today. I call judgment on that fear, and I'm going to walk right through it, and I'm going to be sunshining, and I'm going to be shining, I'm going to be glowing, because I don't need that anymore. I've played that role. I've played that part. I've backed off. I've hidden my voice. That's not a part of who I am anymore. And so, for those that so desire, just have a look at that that post on our blogs and our Facebook page, Universal Love Light. I think is our Facebook page, and we do posts. And I'm going to pull one card as we end off here as a beautiful New Year's. So I want to thank everybody for all of their loving support and donations and help and care to keep our community going, our community of light, and sign up for our newsletter on our website. ULWHC, HTTPS, Universal Love, Light, and Wisdom. And I think it's all on our Facebook page as well, and our Crystalline Children's. And so for our New Year's message, allow yourself that beautiful time of sacred communion and sacred play. And I always get cards that just jump and fall out. And I use tarot to assist me in tapping into different energies, and I'm drawn to different decks at different times, depending on what I'm moving through and what I'm going through. I also use crystals. I also just sit and channel, but because I'm a crystalline child and I always have a lot of energy moving through my body, for me, and you'll find that your children too, they're crystalline, they have to work with their hands and their fingers a lot. So I just use cards just to shuffle because my fingers got to keep busy and I'm writing and things like that. So just keeping my fingers busy and just shuffling all the time. And so there was a couple cards that fell out. And beautiful cards. And I'm going to pick one more. I'll pick 3 of each. Oh, I love that. How apropos. And so from this Wildwood deck, I've got these 3 cards. I'll hold them up for you. One is the 9 of Stones, and that's tradition. And this is really beautiful. For me, it's been coming out to challenge tradition, to question tradition, to bring forward and honor what traditions have meant a lot to me and what I want to carry forward in my new 2020 vibration. And I don't say that as the next 10 years, this is how it's going to be, but it allows us when we're crossing into a new, a new era, and 2020 is a new era, absolutely is energetically for those that are feeling the vibrations. What is important for me to carry forward is new traditions, and this is, I've written about that the roles that we play will be a big part of each and every one of us healing, because we're here to release and liberate subjugation in every way. However it's been played in your family, however it's been played in the lineage of your Akash that you're here to heal, we're each here to heal those traditional aspects that seem obligatory, that don't feel as if they're fitting, if they're limiting in any way, that each of us will be here to help heal and bring forward in a new way, so that we're creating as much liberation and free flowing of creative exploration and creative evolution through the soul and through the spirit in our new human perspectives. So tradition, that's what tradition means to me, is to honor and respect traditions, to honor and respect the elders and the stories that they have for us, because it's been a part of who we are within the energy and the intelligence and the grids that we've built and we've created and we've laid. So honor the traditions, but to also see the traditions in new ways as a 5th dimensional energy and perspective with the heavens and with the universe and with source's spirit guiding us. And this is why the symbolisms in this, the 9 is to, it symbolizes the wishes and the answers to the dreams and the wishes of the heart and the soul. And oftentimes they're not what we think we need, and this is why I really truly love this energy deck, because it provides us with what we need as an earthly energy. We don't really require that much, and when, for me, in my ancient travels, and also in sacred land on this planet, I've had the great opportunity to travel to sacred lands. I'm my most happiest when I'm with the rocks and I'm with nature, because the energies and the wisdoms and the sacred play and the sounds and the tones and the stories that come from the land alive, they enliven me. They remind me of who I am. They bring back the memories of oneness. They bring back the memories of sacredness, the nurturance of sacredness. And this is what this predicts for me. It allows me to see the sun shining through the rocks. They all play within the story of that quantum dance. The sun from the heavens is the Holy Mother Father, the energies of all sacred will. The nurturance, the love, the strength, the willpower, the intelligence of all of the sacred virtues that we're each here to encapsulate and learn from and grow from and evolve. And how all of the stones can symbolize the many paths that we've traversed, the matrices that we've traversed, the labyrinths that we've traversed, as well as the beautiful labyrinths that we've created and we've built from the ground up. But this shaman is sitting here and acknowledging all of it with whatever little that the shaman has, understands the sacredness and the beauty interplay between it all. Without the light, there is the shadow for us to continually learn and be blessed from. Without the shadow, there will not be that light for us to illuminate and to be blessed from. And so to allow those traditions in any way that we might perceive it at first, because there will be a point through which, and that's called evolution, that's called growth, that's called the expansion of who you are as a spirit. You will see whatever has been a challenge or whatever has been, perhaps a negative, will come forward for you as that teaching tool, as that teacher for you. And so that's beautiful. And the second one is the Three of Vessels, which is joy. And I just love this one of my favorite cards. And the Three of Vessels, and we can see the different cups there, and those can sacredly mean and give what it means for you. For me, they mean different things. The emerald codes that we're now being awakened to through our hearts are being activated. And the emerald codes allow us to communicate more deeply and richly as a multidimensional being with Gaia. As a multidimensional being, Gaia is a multidimensional spirit and source. The gold cup is the father energy, and the silver cup is the mother energy. And how these birds are dancing in the elegance that they are with their legs and their gentleness and their wide span of wings. Their wings are what carries them to new play. Their wings are what carry them onto new journeys of exploration. And these cups, although they don't have hands per se to carry these cups, but these cups are laid before them from their as their blessing, as their gifts from the heavens, from the earth, to say, come and dance and play. We've laid a gift for you. And how may we walk upon our journey in this way, that those that we meet along the way, that also have their wings spread, ready for a new journey, ready for a new exaltation in who they are as spirit, will simply meet up where they need to meet up, and the ground will be laid for them. It will be prepared, because again, we've been doing this for eons, and the land will be prepared in the ways and through the souls that we've contracted with to say, I'm going to meet up with you in this place, in this time. There will be the signals sent through your soul. There will be those dreams that will come forward to you. And will you be ready to hear the call? The cups will be there for us, and the cups will always runneth over. And it is this celebration. That is what joy is. That's the Holy Mother, Father, Spirit, Source. However we want to describe all that is, Allah, Abba, Anna. However we want to experience the all that is spirit that's running through each and every one of us, creates the land, creates the cups, creates the beings that hold them, that see, perceive, and create whatever's within them. And that's the sacred vessel that we are. We are each the cup of Source. And we will always runneth over if we so allow ourselves. That's called the allowance of that vessel that we are. How allowing are you? How much are you resisting of who you are as spirit? That's been a big lesson for me this year, is, are you allowing yourself as spirit to be fully who you are? Your cup is always running over. How may you share it? And the third and final one is the Six of Bows, and that is abundance. I've got that right, the right way up. And the abundance, if you can see, they're in a beautiful cave in a forest. I'm going to move so my kitty cat can sit down. Come to share. And this abundance, you see the abundance that's grown here. Whatever is needed within the tribe will be gathered. Whatever is needed within the tribe will be honored and will be shared. The six of bows for me is harmony. It's about the celebration of harmony with others, with like souls, with like hearts, coming to share their offering, spiritual offering, for the greater good of their tribe, of their community, of the all. And they've brought, every single one of them have brought something that has been their harvest. This is what I've harvested this year, and I'm grateful, and I want to share with you. And we're going to have a great party here. We're going to celebrate who we are. And it's the abundance of sharing all that we are through unity consciousness. Whatever your gift is, you're meant to share it. And it's always for those of us that have come from the backgrounds and the energies that we've come from to heal, has been part of the learning and the growing, to know that you're honored and you're valued and you're so loved. And there will always be, always be a potential stage. There will always be a portal. There will always be a potential and opportunity for you to share, because you're meant to. And it might be, this has happened to me several times. And it's happened to me on sacred journeys, you know, and being behind, I was in front of an elderly woman, and she was walking with her son up to this one peak at a sacred mountain. And my team had said, you know, be prepared to share this day. Be prepared to share. You know, open your heart and share who you are. You have much to share and much to give. And part of my story has been the believing in myself and the sacred gifts that I do have. And you know, being those arrows were always those words and those things that were said that harmed and hurt me, and I hid away. You know, that's what the bows had meant to me in that article that I wrote earlier. Not only do they open up those wounds, but sometimes those bows are, those arrows were the harms and the hurts that people had said, and those comments through eons and through timelines, that those are the scars left. That's what also the arrows meant for me. And there's always a juxtaposition. There's always, in symbolism, you know, there's always the lesson, and there's always the rebirth of the healing through that lesson. And so that's what I wrote about in my article. And so that day there was that lady, the elderly woman and her grandson, and they were telling beautiful stories. And I just felt as if I was being gifted, just being in their proximity. I was a couple of feet ahead of them, and I was just honoring the ground and honoring their stories, and to be a part of that co-creation. And my teams absolutely, you know, they showed me that this is no accident, that why we were together in that co-creation. And it gave me the perfect opportunity to connect and entangle with them in a verbal way, you know, creating those Christed frequencies and entangling with others. And that's what it really is. As when you fear away and you shy away and don't share yourself, those Christic energies, you know, kind of don't have that opportunity to continue. And I was, okay, these cards are getting thrown all over the place. Okay, so let's pick 3 cards. And we're thanking the Holy Mother Spirit, the holy ancient energies from the many shaman groups that are here with us today, connecting with Gaia in many of the ways that we can. And thank you, Holy Mother, Father, and the Spirit of the Holy Creator, and the Holy Creator speaking through us in this moment of now, and the Holy Spirit of Gaia coming forward in many ancient tribes and many ancient shamans showing their face to me right now. So we thank you for this sacred gathering. We thank you for the sacred communion through which you've all gathered, celebrating these timelines through which you call moments in time, where you're celebrating the past and you're creating new now moments for your visions of your future. And so we thank you for this sacred gathering. We thank you for this sacred gathering. We thank you for calling us into this sacred space that you have created energetically and etherically. I'm going to say 1 and 2 and 3. Oh, I like that. And I like this. This is one of my favorite ones. We have moose here on the property quite often, and they're quite breathtaking. If you've ever seen a moose, your breath is taken away by moose. And they're truly the wisdom, their antlers, and they're so majestic, as big as they are. We had a couple of moose just on the property here. And our fence is quite high, but they went over that fence like it was nothing. Just a little stepping stone. Here I go. And they're quite huge. They're massive. But the moose represents wisdom because of the antlers reaching up to the heavens, and they're so majestic. Nothing phases them. You know, they look at you and they're just like, yeah, and you know, they're just so solid and they're so elegant. And it's just, I'm going to be writing many more books down my future, downline, if you will, upline. And I'm going to write more about nature and animals and the messages and the communion that I have with them, because they're so, the intelligence and the wisdom that comes from the things that we've taken for granted and we've seen right over and stepped right over and even abused and degraded at times. And we've raped and pillaged their lands and their area for our own sake. And why I have such great reverence for all life. And I try in every day to appreciate and honor it with greater reverence. But the moose will show you in every way when you see one face to face. And you see them even at a distance. I mean, they're just breathtaking, you know, and they'll put you back in your heart and say, wow, you know, You're beautiful. And the wisdom that they carry is the land. Every step they make, the land is talking to them. They got it. They know what they're doing. Okay, and the first one, I love this, the tiger. I've seen the tiger a lot in my meditations lately, and it's the divine feminine energy of just carrying that grace and that power to just move through whatever obstacles, whatever challenges, and just walk with it with grace and a quiet prowess. Not to be bothered. To a vision that I had seen this week was just to be that sacred rock, that temple that is life, that is source, and to live as an open vessel is to really master the emotions, master the emotional body, so that you're not thwarted, you're not thrown off, you're not impelled by such changing and dramatic circumstances, so that life can live through you. And as the water washes over the rock, it's changing it and it's molding it. Those circumstances and those experiences will change and alter you. But you can choose to get entangled or not get entangled, and just observe it from that higher perspective through detaching yourself emotionally. Perceive and view it from that higher self perspective. And it takes practice, and this is what mastery is. It's practicing moment for moment for moment. Is how do I want to move about in this now way? Because I've got my wherewithal. I'm centered in who I am. I'm centered in how I want to move about my life. And I want to be that sacred prowess through which life is moving with me and through me. And I'm not going to be tossed and thwarted about anymore by others' desires of me, by others' wants and needs of me. I'm going to live within my soul's plan and my soul's journey. I'll be understanding and compassionate to the needs of others, and I will heal and assist in serving of all others. But serving of the soul is the new guide, because in that we're serving the all. If we're not serving thy soul and we're holding ourselves back and shadowing in, you're being your own shadow. You're boxing yourself and you're limiting yourself. You're not coming forward with the services that you've come to serve and you've come to activate and you've come to give and offer. I know that from experience. I've spent so long hiding my voice because I've felt the ignitions of the fears from other lifetimes on what's occurred, when that occurred, in different ways, in different manners, in different lifetimes, in different roles and bodies. But I understand now that it's such a quantum dance, and I must come forward and I must sing and I must chant and I must talk and I must share my Christed voice, because it does offer so much in so many different multidimensional ways that I don't even know. I'm trusting source and spirit, and I must move forward in those gifts. And those that are walking the path and honoring the path with me will be there. I trust that now, and it's taken a while to do that. So it's about choosing to be unstoppable, but to do it in a way that's graceful and honoring of who you are as a spirit and soul, not in a way that is belittling or in lack of regard for others or life or Gaia, but to do it in a way that you're walking and the water washes over you, life washes over you and through you, and it doesn't stop you from moving in your way that's honoring for you and spirit, but it shapes you. Everything will shape you, and it will allow you to learn and to grow. That's who we are, and not to beat yourself up over those parts that have, you felt yourself stumbling. And the next one is, this is so perfect as we end the year, 2019, is the polar bear, and it's about knowing that the challenges you've made have allowed you to be the sorcerer and the majesty and the magician that you are. To embrace everything as the beauty that it is. It's a part of the plan, right? It's a part of your path. It's a part of your wisdom. It's a part of your elegance. And to know that it's creating your own shamanism, because your stories and your path and your challenges and your steps will allow others to feel okay about who they are. And this is what my teams have been offering me the last year, is that because I've walked such a difficult and challenging path, and I don't say that in any other way than to mean that I understand, I understand the human journey in a way that is unique to me. I understand the human journey that's unique to me as a mother, that's as a single person, that's moving through profound and dynamic multidimensional experiences that are beyond words at times, that are beyond understanding at times. And we do our best to put them in the words that we have for the sharing. But there's also stories and vibrations beyond what we know that are also affecting all that we know. And to be more attuned with that, to know that you're a multidimensional being, and that you're now a vessel, a beautiful vessel of sacred geometry, that in every way you're affecting the all that is. And how can we come forward and truly embrace and celebrate that now? How can we reflect on that? How can we reflect on that and say, wow, I understand why I felt the way that I did. My emotional body, my mental body, my etheric body, my physical body was showing me things and I wasn't listening, but I'm going to listen now. I want to listen. And that's when you heal that child within that lifetime, that Akash fragment, that soul fragment that's aching for your acknowledgement, for your acceptance. And that's how you become the shaman. You share yourself with the all as the all, not hiding away from it. But that hiding is a part of the process, and accept it and embrace it as well. That's that appreciation and reflection. Appreciate that part where you did hide and you did feel scared. Because when you appreciate it, it's no longer a hindrance to you. It's no longer that blockade. You're accepting it through your appreciation. I value that ride. Wow. All the forest animals are coming out now. Little squirrel. The kitty cat. And the final one here is the dog. And we all know the dog, right? It's allowing us, and I love how we see them. The dogs here are the dogs, and the lineage of the dog is the wolf, and the myriad of ancestors that the dogs have been for humanity. The shapers of our ability to open up to who we are, to be better friends to ourselves, to be better friends with nature, to be better friends with each other, and that we will find in being who we are as valued beings and appreciating beings of humanity, of source, of all that is. And as we walk upon the earth cushions before our feet. And I wrote about that in our blog, in our article. To know that Gaia is one with us and our friend with us. And I had this vision of, it was simultaneous in these multidimensional visions, and it was very beautiful. Gaia, as I was walking in this beautiful forested experience, there was beautiful moss that I was walking on in my bare feet. And at that instantaneous step that I made with Gaia, she was responding to me immediately with her grace and with her appreciation, and she was wanting to gentle the path for me. She valued me so much. She appreciated me so much for the work that I had done in grids and energy work and stones and caves and all the things that I'd done through any other lifetimes that she's aware of, that I'm remembering. And she made the way so gentle for me. And this is spirit for me. And this is why I just get so overwhelmed with appreciation and love. And this is what Source, Creator, God, Mother, Father mean for me. It's always such an elegant, beautiful, soft, and gentle path. And it's only us in our disbelief of who we are. It's only us in our lack of love. It's only us in our lack of self that we create such chaos and disturbances for ourselves, and why we feel so battered around all the time. It's our own negation of who we are as soft and gentle children of Source. But it's really our truth of that gentleness that we are as God, as beautiful beings. And the path will always be paved with gentleness. And it just opens my heart with such gratitude that there will always be that path, and it will be as beautiful as we allow ourselves to open in awareness too. If it's important for you to feel the miracles of life, and that's your intention as you walk about life, I'm ready for miracles. A couple of years ago, I walked intently to awaken to all miracles that would be provided with Gaia and with all that is. I would walk with intention. Today is a miracle, and I'm open to anything that provides the entryway to spirit, to love. And you'll see them in the most magical and majestic ways that God is. God is God. You're God working with God, and you're activating God. You're igniting God. You're bringing it to life. So just know that and appreciate it and value it. So in these moments where you're crisscrossing and you're opening into new energies of potentiality, know that you're valued, you're appreciated, you're honored for being all that you are in the path that you're walking, and know that it will cause for great traversing, and have that be okay. It's how you define it and perceive it, and know that this is a challenge. It's going to make me the majesty that I am. It's going to help shape my shamanism. It's going to help activate who I am as a universal being. It's going to help me stand in my power so that I'm not counsel to energies that are not for my greatest good, or allowing your power to be your voice or your art or your creative gift, and to be okay sharing it in whatever way that you're excited to share it, and carve your path so that it's abundant for you, and you'll have those with you that will want to share that abundance in their own unique way. And you'll come up with sacred joy and sacred ecstasy, and you'll have that path prepared for you, and the miracles just appear when they appear. Because you're a part of the all, and you're a part of that shadow work and that dance. And for us to know the light, we've had to work through and heal all that has been shadow, what we've thought and defined as shadow. It's all us, it's all source. It's an experience that allows us the majesty and the mastery of who we are, because we're vast, and there's many timelines and many planets that we're healing and coming from and moving to. We're sewing together, and we're threading together great new universes, dear ones. You know, new planets that don't have names yet, that have the vibrations of us in excitement ready. We're co-creating in a multidimensional quantum way, and your DNA and your cells, all of you is excited, but you're the master. You get to choose. So thank you, dear ones. This is Joanna from Universal Love and Light Wisdoms, and we thank you for always tuning in and joining with us in this beautiful sacred co-creation, and honor Gaia, honor the love for divine spirit in all things, in all moments, in all beings. Appreciate, value, and honor all life, because you're a part of it. You're sacred and you're beautiful, and we love you. Namaste. Happy New Year.